Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Um, I had a lot of requests for the recipe or information on what I call my blood pressure lowering and tummy slimming tea. So I'm going to come to you this evening and tell you about what all I use to create that tea that can be drank either hot or cold, and what I put in it. So on this plate, I've got all the ingredients that go into um, my tea drink. I try to buy organic if I can, and if I can't, then I will definitely just buy what's on sale. But first and foremost, I start with the fruit that I include in this drink. Um, Lemons. I slice up about 3 lemons. I leave the skin on because there's a lot of nutrients in the tea. Um, I use 1 orange, either regular orange, and this one is so dark because it's a blood orange. So I use that as well. Blueberries, and I'll tell you why. Lemons detoxify your body and your cells, so that's why I use the lemon. Blood oranges are very healthy and add some more citrus and vitamin C, which we need. Blueberries are rich in antioxidants. It's great for your skin. So you want to make sure you include the blueberries in there. The next ingredient that I add that is also key to this drink is cinnamon. Now you can get the cinnamon sticks at your local Walmart. That's where I got these for. But if you want to step it up a notch, um, order you some true organic cinnamon, the good stuff. I got this from Amazon. This brand is called True Organic. That's what this brand is. It comes in a powder form. Um, why the cinnamon? Cinnamon aids in weight loss. It has cancer fighting properties in it too, so it helps to curb your appetite as well. So I use the good cinnamon when I make up this drink as well. Another key ingredient for this drink, as I focus on more of the blood pressure, is beets. Now, when I first started making this drink, I started off with the beetroot powder, and again, you can order this from Amazon too as well. I put about 2 tablespoons of a tablespoon and a half of beetroot powder if I use the beet. But lately, I've kind of gone for the actual beet. So I will juice this up and put this in to the tea. So I'm using the beets now, but you can also use, especially if you're not a big fan of beets, I would say you may want to start off with the beetroot powder. You don't get as much as that beet flavor in there as you do with using an actual beet. But for me, I'm looking at it for more of the medicinal purposes of what it can do for me, including lowering and keeping my blood pressure in the normal range. So I'm going to use the whole beet instead. The other thing that's also key is to use ginger. Ginger has cancer fighting properties in it too as well. It helps to settle your stomach. There's so many cancer fighting properties that are found in ginger. So I put ginger in every tea that I make at home. So to me, you just have to kind of figure out, how much of ginger you want in there. I usually take off what I call a knob of it and sliced it up. So I've got that already pre-sliced here. So that's going to go directly into the tea. So let's talk about sweeteners as well. There's a variety of sweeteners that I use just depending on what I'm in the mood for. The only exception is white sugar. I do not use any white sugar. Most of you guys know I am a cancer thriver and survivor. So cancer cells feed on sugar. So I have a tendency, I do stick to what is natural and pure. So of course you can go with honey to sweeten this up. And agave, I use agave quite a bit in my tea. And then also I use stevia as a sweetener too as well. So those are the things that I do to sweeten. So again, get your lemons, your blueberries, and one orange. You don't want a lot of orange in there because you really, really do want the effects of the lemons in there, which again is very good for detoxing your body and making things digestible, and also your orange. And you absolutely have to have your ginger in there. The powder is definitely, if you want to get started with this recipe, I recommend, especially if you're not used to the beets. That does help still with lowering your blood pressure. But if you use the real thing that Mother Nature created versus this powder that is a beet, but it's in powder form, I think you get more out of when you use a whole beet. So basically, I just take everything and I dump it into I think this is like a 3-quart saucepan. So everything just goes in here, and it doesn't matter what order you put it in. I'm just basically dumping everything that I've got prepared here in there. So everything is just going to go into this pot. And I'm going to go with, since I didn't juice that beet up, I'm going to actually go with the beet powder as well. And then once this, I usually do once it gets to a rolling boil, I let everything, you can see I got everything dumped into this pot. So all my lemons, ginger, oranges, cinnamon, and the beetroot powder is all in there. So I fill this up with, I have a filter on my fridge. So I just basically fill this pot up and then I bring it to a boil. So I try to get much out of it. And this is 8 cups, so this is 2 quarts. So that pot holds about 2 quarts. So I get this all filled up, bring it to a rolling boil, and then I bring it down to a low temperature and I cook it for another 30 minutes. And once, you can tell because everything looks all mushy. So once everything is all cooked and everything together, it's a beautiful color when it's all done. Then you get a strainer, and I strain it back into this bowl, and I strain everything off. And once it's cooled down, and then I just store it in a bottle, and I drink off of it for the entire week. Once it gets to a simmer, that's usually when I start adding in whatever sweetener I feel like adding in. So today, since I'm actually taking this home for my sisters, I'll probably do a mixture of agave. I'm a big agave fan, so once that gets done boiling, I'll probably add some agave in there to taste, and maybe a couple of packets of stevia. I don't like it too sweet, so this isn't like a sweet tea, so just enough to take the sweetness off. And I drink this tea every day. And I just want to show them, I'm going to show you guys, last summer, I had a waist bead put on. So I'm just going to lift this up because I'm going to be modest here. I'm not going to show anything. So I had this waist bead put on around my natural waist. So I've lost about you can see now it just falls down. So I've lost about 4 inches off of my waist. Of course, I do eat clean. I've also lost some weight too as well. But I just want to show you guys that that's kind of how I'm tracking this with this tea. I drink at least 2 glasses of this tea a day if I can. But I do incorporate it every morning. So that is my blood pressure slash tummy slimming tea. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thank you. Bye-bye.